John, thanks for joining us at the One-to-One Mining Conference today in London.
Oh, pleasure. Great to be here.
Tell me a little bit more about your company and the assets you have.
Greenland Minerals and Energy has been around for almost 10 years. We're ASX listed, primarily focused on Greenland, where we have one key asset. That's the Kavanafeld project. It's the world's most significant emerging rare earth project. Also a series of byproducts involved in that, uranium, zinc, fluorspar. So this sits now, approaching the development pipeline at a really exciting time for the rare earth sector.
So what are the next stages for you and key milestones?
For the last 12 months, we've been working very closely with our strategic partner, Shenghe Resources. Shenghe is the second largest rare earth company globally, the fastest growing and the most internationally focused of the Chinese rare earth fleet. So we're at a point where the whole structure of rare earth supply is changing, and we're positioning for that, working with Shenghe to turn on what will be the most significant new supply point of rare earths globally for the foreseeable future. So for us, 2017 has been setting the foundation for that with a lot of optimization work. 2018 is the rollout of that. So it's going to be an exciting year. We'll see progressive updates to the project technically, what that means for simplifying the project for the layout, how that improves the cost structure, and then come late in the year, we'll be setting the development strategy in terms of whether we look to phase the project, but I think we're going to be rolling out what's going to be a very exciting story in a sector that's really coming under the investor spotlight.
Now you talk about a sector that's coming in the investor spotlight. Tell us more on that thought.
Rare earths are really key to the whole electrification program. So they really follow on, from the minor metal boom we've seen. It's really driven by global megatrends. Part of that is urbanization, part of that is electrification, part of that is renewable energy. So rare earths are key facilitators of this program. So it's the permanent magnets which are really driving that. So rare earths make the strongest permanent magnets. Neodymium, praseodymium, they're key to that. Dysprosium as well. Greenland will be the largest producer outside of China of neodymium, praseodymium, terbium and dysprosium. So globally significant. So at the moment, all these things are really projected to grow extensively for the foreseeable future, basically. And this is something that's not just like a concept anymore. This is now real. 2017 has been probably the year where this has transitioned from something that people have been talking about to something that's now been legislated by many, many countries. So it's something whereby demand growth, which is really positioned to soar beyond 2020, is now underwritten essentially by government legislation. So it's quite a unique position, and that provides a lot of strength and confidence to where the sector's going. So the other side of that is supply in China is about to be capped. So you've got a very interesting dynamic, supply about to be restricted, demand set to surge. We're perfectly placed to play right into that.
So we're obviously at the One-to-One Mining Conference today. What's your key message to shareholders, potential investors?
Well, for us, this has been a big year. We've been very busy for a number of years now, where we've really just had our head down. We had a number of key areas of the project we needed to get in place, we needed to de-risk. That included working with the Danish and Greenlandic government to get a clear regulatory framework in place that was required to facilitate the project's development. We're very advanced in the permitting. We now are a year into cooperation with our major shareholder and strategic partner, Shenghe. So on that basis, we now have a much more mature and complete story to roll out. So really just in the last few months, we've launched a strategy to get out there and really re-engage the audience and update them on what is now a very complete story in terms of Greenland and where we're at. So that's really why we're here in London. We did the one-to-one in Hong Kong. Just recently we closed out a 10.2 million raising backed by institutions, largely in Hong Kong and Australia. So it demonstrates real support for where the company and where the project's going, and it has us really well positioned to execute on the rollout of the optimisation work in 2018.
Superb. Well, thanks for your time today.
Pleasure. Great to be here.